Yes.
It's been 70 years since King Daemon was end. These nights were green as summer grass. None have known real war.
You're just saying that
that war didn't break out of first blood.
this night they win blood, so you let them do that. Don't hurt yourself like that. You're gonna open.
It sometimes becomes necessary for the father
To take a decision.
to make an impossible choice. There is a chance that we can save the child. A technique is taught at the Citadel which involves cutting directly into the wound to free the infant.
You need your hair. Now I'm waiting for him.
You can save the child.
And she said that it would be the last one. But I think that you truly loved her.
You can't bring the baby out now.
You're not gonna tell her. Oh? Please tell her.
I love you.
You're sincere.
No, it's alright. Don't be scared. Go to bed, baby. It's alright.
Making the first incision.
I'm not sure I care about this fight, but I care about that right there. Right there, it's just a question of ego. Never.
I was hoping to ask for the princess's favour.
Oh, she loved the consent.
Princess?
I'm surprised that he accepted, to yield. I'm really surprised.
Congratulations, Your Grace. You have a son.
Oh, and I'm surprised by that. Ah.
He's waiting for you. I want you to go to your toilet. Johanna lies.
Heirs. You're gonna say
Heirs.
Daemon Targaryen.
If Daemon were to remain the uncontested heir, it could destabilize the realm.
The realm of this council.
No one here can know what no one can doubt his ambition. Look at what he did with the gold cloaks.
But
The city watches.
I'm not sure of what he would do in it. For now, I'm really like, he can do the worst, like maybe not that bad in fact. Something good.
Putting Daemon in command of the City Watch was your solution.
Not everything is all white or all black.
What do you think? My brother would murder me. Take my crown.
Are you? King's firstborn child, Rhaenyra. A girl. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
That is only by tradition. I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.
You wouldn't have to, Your Grace. There are others who would have a claim.
Such as your wife, agree on an heir that had to be
Welcome, summer, damn it! I will not sit here and suffer crows that come to feast on their corpses.
How is his grace?
Very low. Which is why I sent for you. I thought you might go to him.
offer him comfort.
You know, he needs an heir. You're offering your daughter.
I wouldn't know what to say.
It's not bad. He'll be glad of a visitor.
You're
You
offering.
might wear one of your mother's dresses.
Can you make it more clear, you know, for her?
I do know how passionate you are for the histories.
Yes.
I'm not sure I want to see that.
When my mother died, people only ever spoke to me in riddles. All I wanted was for someone to say that they were sorry for what happened to me. I'm very sorry, Your Grace.
You're nice.
King and Council have long moved my position as next in line for the throne.
The gods give just as the gods take away.
He toasted Prince Baelon,
The king's son.
styling him the heir for a day.
You chose to celebrate your own rise, laughing with your whores and your hospitals. You have no allies at court but me. I have only ever defended you. In
Also
everything
true.
I
You've only ever tried to send me away to the Vale, to the City Watch. 10 years you've been king, and yet not once have you asked me to be your hand.
Why would I do that?
Because I'm your brother.
Then why do you cut me so deep?
I've only ever spoken the
You
truth.
want him
I
to
see
be his
Occupied
aunt?
for what he is.
Unwavering and loyal
That
and
cunt. Otto Hightower is a more honourable man than you could ever be.
He doesn't protect you.
He gave you
From
his
what?
daughter.
Yourself. You're weak, Viserys.
I have decided to name a new heir.
I'm your heir.
Not anymore.
What?
You are to return to Runestone and your lady wife.
I said, ouch.
Your Grace.
And that's the beginning of a story. Two brothers against each other now.
When you look at the dragons, what do you see?
What? You haven't spoken a word to me since Mother's funeral. And now you send your king's guard down.
Answer me. It's important. What do you see?
Everyone says Targaryens are closer to gods than to men. But they say that because of our dragons. Without them, we're just like everyone else.
Our power men should never have trifled with.
When it brought Valeria its doom. If we don't mind our own histories, it would do the same to us. Targaryen must understand this to be king.
Oh, queen.
I'm sorry, Rhaenyra. I have wasted the years since you were born, wanting for a son.
You named her your true heir. That's also the beginning of a story.
By the old gods and the new.
Who is gonna accept, who is not gonna accept, what they're gonna try to do against her, with her.
In your head.
Aegon foresaw the end of the world of men. It is to begin with a terrible winter, gusting out of the distant north. Stark, Lord of Winterfell. Aegon saw absolute darkness riding on those
Oh.
and whatever dwells within will destroy the world of the living.
The name of Tarth, you know, like, oh come on.
And if the world of men is to survive, a Targaryen must be seated on the Iron Throne. A king or queen, strong enough to unite the realm against the cold and the dark. Aegon called his dream the Song of Ice and Fire. This secret, it's been passed from king to heir. Promise me this, Rhaenyra. Promise me. Rhaenyra Targaryen, Princess of Dragonstone, and heir to the Iron Throne.
I'm glad for her. It's a lot, but you can do it. Na, 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 we're not gonna have hidden scenes or stuff like that at the end of this episode. No, no hidden scenes. It's already long enough, no hidden scenes. Cool, so cool. I mean, it's promising. A first episode like that is really promising because it's almost like it's an introduction to the entire show. I said it, you know, at the end of it when we had these two moments, Viserys against Daemon, and after that Viserys talking with his daughter. These two moments are really the things, you know, the decisions, the actions which are really gonna create situations, narrative arcs for the entire show. So yes, this entire first episode is a really great first episode. It's almost a pilot, you know, in a way. I'm saying almost because again it's 1 hour and I'm sure that this spin-off of Game of Thrones didn't need a real pilot like we're used to have some pilot for other shows. You know, these pilots that are made to prove that the show can exist, you know, to be bought and stuff like that. Like right there, they didn't need a pilot for that. But it's a good introduction. We have these situations, these narrative arcs which are created for the entire show, at least some seasons, I think. But yes, we have that introduction. We have also the introduction of the main characters, Viserys, Rhaenyra, Daemon. I think that other characters like Hightower, like his daughter, like the queen who was never a queen and her husband, some other characters like that, core also, they're gonna be important also, but not as much as these three. It's great, it's what we want, it's what we were expecting, the story about the Targaryen, about what happened for them, for this family, during that moment, for these characters. So really a good introduction. For the fact that it's a Game of Thrones show, you know, it's a spin-off, what we could have expected from a spin-off of Game of Thrones. The places, you know, the environment, the costumes, the music, how it's done the same, you know. Maybe it's a little more, I was gonna say rush, it's not really the good word for that. Like for the action, Game of Thrones knew how to create sometimes some silent moments, some silent scenes, so we can really take the time to live the moment, to live one emotion, appreciate, you know, one situation and all. The fact that they didn't do it during this episode, for me, it's not bad, and it's not because of that that they're never gonna do it for the next episodes, because again, it's a first episode, so maybe they didn't think of it like that it would be great to create that during the first episode. Do you understand what I mean? Like, for this first episode, they needed to put so many stuff, you know, in place that maybe also they didn't have the time for that, and they're gonna keep that for the rest of the season of the show. So it doesn't bother me, and it's, yes, maybe the only difference that I find about how it's done on screen. I'm really seeing how it's done on screen, the pictures, the costumes, the environment, the musics, like, it's almost the same, not totally the same. You know, the musics, it's the same musics, but they are reinterpreting the musics. The places, they are truly the same. The costumes, they are truly the same. But I said it also, I think that it was almost at the beginning of this episode, like, it feels the same, it's cool, but I'm waiting really for one moment, for one epic moment, you know, for one thing like that, to really be like, okay, we're back! And you know, it's a we're back, like, we're back into this universe, but also we're back into an epic story. You're gonna tell me something epic, a story, I'm gonna be impressed, I'm gonna be in stress, I'm gonna be emotional. Like, I was waiting for a moment like that to come, to almost, you know, have that promise that with this show I would live all of the things that I loved to live with Game of Thrones. Not to tell me that that's it, I'm gonna have a Game of Thrones bis, you know, number 2, not at all, but just to promise me that I would feel the same, I would have the same emotions, you know, really a promise. I was waiting for a moment like that. I'm not sure that I had it, I have to be honest with it. Maybe a little with that Dracarys moment. Maybe also a little with that moment, you know, just in front of the throne, on the throne with Viserys and Daemon. Maybe a little with Viserys talking with Rhaenyra, but it's not enough for now. Again, I'm not blaming them and I'm not saying that that's it. I don't appreciate this show because I didn't have this moment, because I can understand that they can't put it already into the first episode. Like, on the contrary, if during this episode they would have created, you know, a fight scene or an epic moment, something like really, you know, like a lot, I would have said it's too much. So, you know, because of that, I know how it's done, how a show is done, how it's built, the fact that you have to build a moment, the fact that you have to build a situation, the fact that you have also to develop your character, so the viewers are going to be interested and involved with them. So when something epic is going to happen, really you're going to have your viewer totally involved into it. So that's why, because I know how it's done, that okay, I want that epic moment, I'm waiting for it. It's gonna be for me really the moment, you know, the promise that I need for the entire show, but I know also that I need to wait a little longer. So that's why at the beginning of this review I'm really like, it's cool, it's really cool. I can't say already I love this show, I can't say already I love this and this character, it's gonna take me a little more time, but it's really promising. A lot of things are really promising. The fact that they're gonna respect that universe, you know, that they created with Game of Thrones. The fact that they are using all of the tools, you know, on screen, how it's done, like they used for Game of Thrones. It's really promising. And for the story that they are creating, especially for this show, it's also promising. That's it. It's a good introduction. We have all of the situations. We met the main characters. We know also how they are acting, their attitudes. We can already begin to appreciate or to dislike some things that they are doing or not. So because of that, it's promising. I can be like, okay, show me more. Maybe I'm gonna love it, maybe not, show me more. I want to make that clear also. It's not because, oh, I'm really losing all of my hair. It's not because during the episode sometimes I was maybe judging some of the actions that the characters were doing and all, that I'm gonna be all like, okay, that's it, I don't like this character, okay, that's it, I like this character. Not at all. Like, I'm really seeing it right now. I don't like or dislike one or another character. Like, I can see that Rhaenyra, she wanted to have some responsibilities. I mean, to be respected by her father, but at the same time I'm not sure that she truly wanted to be the heir, to have that big responsibility. It was someone who wanted to be respected, who wanted to be, you know, like, considered, and she was not, and right now she is, and by her own father. And for that I think that she's gonna try to make him proud, you know, to be at the level that is gonna wait for her to be. They're all gonna expect her to be at a certain level, you know, and she's gonna try her best to be at that level. I think that her development, she's still really young, you know, at the beginning of this episode. So her development is gonna be interesting, because I think that at some point, for sure she's gonna fail. She can't be, you know, like, they're gonna expect a lot coming from her and she can't be at that level, you know, of expectations. No one can. And at the same time, some others, they're not gonna expect anything coming from her. On the contrary, they're gonna say that she can't do anything. So at some point, I think that the girl, she has also a strong character, and she's gonna be like, all of you, shut the fuck up, let me do my thing. Like, I can see maybe a progression like that for her. The fact that she's close to her uncle, the fact that I know Also something about her story related to her uncle. Again, I'm gonna try to not spoil that much during the episode in intros and reviews. But we know, and they already began to present that relationship, so I think that you can guess what I'm talking about. Because of that, you know, like, it's promising. Also our character. For Daemon, he's really ambitious. That's the first thing that I said about him. But we saw also that he has some doubts. We saw also that he can make mistakes. We saw also, you know, some little things, moments like that. Like, it was nice also with Rhaenyra, not only because he bought her something, but also during the funeral of her mother, he was the one to push her to do the right thing. So not everyone is all white or black. He showed a lot of bad stuff, in my opinion. Like, I think that he can be also cruel, he can be also dangerous. I'm not sure that he would be the kind of guy to kill his brother, but if he has to fight him, maybe. We'll see. And you know also how he talked to the members of the council. Okay, they are against you and they were not nice with him neither, but he went really far with it. It was a little too much. It's gonna be a complicated character. It's gonna be a complex character, so that's why I'm not saying, you know, that I like him, I don't like him. Just, it's gonna be an interesting character to follow and it's gonna give us a lot of things, you know. And I think that because of that, of how complex he is already, he can surprise us, and for now, he can go really in all of the directions. We'll see. And for sure we have Viserys, who lost his wife, who lost his heir. That moment with his wife, you know, dying like that, giving birth, that was awful, truly awful. Alicent, I really hope that nothing happened, nothing is gonna happen, but at the same time, And at the same time, at the end, he's the one saying to his daughter, I'm sorry that I wasted time, you know, trying to find an heir when you can be a good one. And that's something, you know, like someone in his position who can accept that he was wrong and is saying it to his daughter, and who is deciding to put his daughter as his future heir. That's a lot, you know, for a guy like that. So, see, not everything is all white or all black. They're gonna be interesting characters, and that's gonna be an interesting story. We already have stuff to follow, you know, and they gave us also little stories already to pay attention to, you know, what they were talking about during the council. Little characters also to follow, like Alicent, like that other night Cole, I think, like also Hightower, what he wants to do, little other stuff like that to follow. Promising. I can't tell more, you know, for this first episode. For how it's done, it looks good, it looks the same. I want an epic moment, it's gonna come, it's okay if it didn't come right now. For the story, it was what I want, you know, what we are expecting. I love the story about the Targaryens, same for the characters. They are promising. We'll see how all of that is gonna evolve. It's a good first episode, guys. They did it well. It's not epic and explosions and stuff like that, so maybe some of the viewers are gonna be disappointed. Like, if they are beginning this show with the last seasons of Game of Thrones in mind, they're gonna be like, I'm bored, you know, nothing happened. First episode, first season of Game of Thrones, first episodes of the first season of Game of Thrones. You know, it was a little slow at the beginning to learn everyone's names, to learn all of the situations and all. It's logical, guys. I mean, if you are like that, if you are a little disappointed, if you are a little like, it was slow, nothing happened. In fact, things happen, clearly. And you have to remember that, and you have to trust the writers, trust the process, at least what they did was promising. We'll see if they are keeping their promises or not. I think that, you know, like middle of the season, episode 4, 5, something like that, we need to have an epic moment, a Game of Thrones moment, like you and I maybe were thinking about, we're waiting for. Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right now. Tell me really on comments if you liked this first episode or not, if it was what you wanted or not, what you are waiting for also for the next episodes, what you are expecting. We'll see if your expectations, you know, they're gonna be reached or not. We'll see. Okay, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.